Okay, last night, Challenge TV, Freeview Channel 46, showed TNA Wrestling, Impact Wrestling, whatever they legally call themselves, Bound for Glory. But now, this is supposed to be the biggest event of the year for Impact Wrestling. I didn't quite get that impression. I thought it was a good pay-per-view overall, maybe 4 out of 5. But the story that Bound for Glory this year was long-time rivalries with Lynn, RVD, Daniels, Styles, and Hogan Sting. It was very much long-term rivalries. The free show on Facebook, I never watched it because I had to like and be registered on Facebook and everything. I'm not on Facebook, but a Mexican America defeated Inc. That's Shannon Moore and Jesse Neal to retain the tag titles. I don't know how it's supposed to be a decent match. Like I said, it was on Facebook. I'm not on it, so it says you're supposed to like it, Impact Wrestling Facebook page to be able to watch the match. So I don't know whether that match was any good. I've seen the last couple of matches of Inc. on Explosion, TNA's other wrestling show. They seem to be okay. They're not really doing too much with the tag team division at the moment. It's more continuing, but it seems to be a decent team. Mexican America is really just LAX and another name and a different member. It's very similar stuff. I was hoping they would be pushing Hernandez by this time as a strong singles guy for a championship, but we'll have to see how long they want to keep this Mexican American thing going. Getting to the matches featured on the pay-per-view, Austin Aries defeated Brian Kendrick. Brian Kendrick still doing the weird kind of gimmick, the relaxed kind of hippie-ish gimmick. It was a good match, okay match. It's very much kind of actually standard of old WWE Cruiserweight division when they had Chavo Guerrero and Jamie Noble and such. There was one very excellent spot if you were going to watch pay-per-view. Brian Kendrick was on the outside and Austin Aries did a suicide dive through the ropes right into Brian Kendrick, and I mean right into him with full force, right into Kendrick. It's amazing he was able to continue. Actually, it was quite a force if you see it. It was a very strong dive to get through the ropes. It was a decent match. Austin Aries retained the X Division title. Strong match, showing both good showing for both of them. Austin Aries, of course, is still getting reused to the TNA style. Again, this feud will probably continue, and we'll see where we go from there. But a decent match. We also had Rob Van Dam versus Jerry Lynn. Now, this was a Full Metal Mayhem match. It's Impact Wrestling equivalent to TLC matches. This one was mostly ladders and chairs. There wasn't any tables. I think probably due to what Anderson and Billy Ray planned, but I'll get to that in a second. Very much Rob Van Dam took the win after a Man Terminator, whatever he calls it, from when he jumps onto a missile drop kicks the opponent when they're in the corner with the steel chair wedged into the corner. That was a very good match. A lot of action with the ladder. Again, these two guys are veterans. They faced each other for many years. It was a solid match. Again, a couple of blown spots from them. The crossbody that was supposed to take them to the outside. A couple of bits they didn't quite hit. You could tell maybe nerves, maybe. But overall, good match. RVD took the win. This was obvious. Jerry Lynn is not on TV as much. They're thinking of using him behind the scenes more, like he used to do in about 2005, 2006. He kind of did that role. Rob Van Dam was obviously one of the main guys in Impact roster, so it was obvious that Rob Van Dam would take the win. Jerry Lynn has never quite been able to beat Rob Van Dam solidly in these matches, but Rob Van Dam, of course, the bigger star, and I think it was a bit obvious in the booking that he was going to give him a decent match again. Watch on the repeats, I'm sure. Check the Challenge TV schedules. I'm sure they've got a website where they'll got their schedules up. We also had Crimson defeating Samoa Joe and Matt Morgan in his triple threat match. This match I'll cover quickly because it's okay. It was your average triple threat match. One fall for a win. You had the usual pin interference. Crimson took the win after chopping Matt Morgan. So Matt Morgan was in the corner grabbing his knee, speared Samoa Joe and took the win. Crimson's obviously been pushed. He's still undefeated in singles competition. He's actually very tall. If you looked on that match, beside Matt Morgan, who's genuinely 7 feet tall, Crimson is extremely scary, but very tall. He's actually, of course, the real life brother of former Impact Wrestling star Amazing Red. It was a decent match, just a typical triple threat match. The last couple of major pay-per-views that tried to push Matt Morgan, this used the same vignettes of him training outside with his wife and so forth, the footage they used, but he seems to always come away with the loss. Again, another day I was hoping they would push by now. Samoa Joe's also been lost in the shuffle, and the shuffle. With these three guys, I think all the feuds mostly on this card I think will obviously continue. But again, a decent solid match. Again, I wasn't getting the vibe that this was the biggest show in Impact Wrestling's year. For some reason it just lacked that WrestleMania-esque major show. This is the one of the year. It just did not seem to, although Bound for Glory this year was in Philadelphia and wasn't in the Impact Zone or in Nashville, which was taking place in Philadelphia. You still didn't quite get, maybe it was because the access on TV was limited. We didn't get footage from the Fan Fest, we didn't get footage from all the events going on throughout the weekend. Maybe that was why, maybe the lack of media. But certainly a decent triple threat match. Mr. Anderson and Bully Ray, again, a solid match. The one blown spot on this was the finish. Anderson had Bully Ray on the table outside the ring. Anderson went to the turnbuckle to senton bomb Bully Ray through the table. He just glanced Bully Ray. You could tell that was the finisher. He ended up just I've seen the Bully Ray called inaudible, which of it Anderson mic checked him through the table for the victory. Again, that was a no disqualification match. They fought all over the arena. It was a very good match. Obviously, Bully Ray is kept mostly in the big pay-per-views to hardcore matches, no disqualifications, anything with weapons are involved in. That's his forte. Anderson kept up with pretty well. Dodgy haircut from Anderson. Maybe he's grown out his hair, the colour in his hair. Can you look like Eric Young used to from back? If he didn't see tattoos, I thought actually at one point it was, at the start of the match it was Eric Young, but a decent match. These two guys again are veterans. Like I said, again, not really getting the big pay-per-view vibe, although I've seen some of the reviews of the event. That was a good event. It was a good solid event. But again, most of it felt kind of an Impact show. Next was the women's match. Velvet Sky, Winter, Mickie James, and Madison Rayne. Winter, of course, the Knockouts champion. Velvet Sky took the win. Really this I think was a bit obvious that Bill Sky and storyline would take the title. Again, it was good to see the women actually wrestling, getting in the ring and actually wrestling. They're actually doing good moves. If you've seen media lately, Gail Kim says that WWE's not been letting the women punch and kick. This was actually women getting there and having a good four corners match. Anybody could tag in anybody. This was apparent, of course, a couple of times during the match. Very good finish for Velvet Sky with kind of pedigree. Sit out facebuster, pick up the victory. I think she's deserving champion. Again, the feud will continue. AJ Styles vs Christopher Daniels. I had a bit of a problem with this match in the finish. Christopher Daniels, when AJ Styles grabbed the screwdriver, Christopher Daniels kind of went out and said, "Oh, I quit." It was an I quit match, I should say. Christopher Daniels kind of went out of the match when AJ Styles grabbed the screwdriver and ran out. AJ Styles followed him up the ramp when Christopher Daniels went outside. Christopher Daniels attacked him, and the most spot about this match was Christopher Daniels Angel's Wings on AJ Styles on the stage. Obviously this feud will continue. It's a very solid Japanese kind of match, very with lots of solid physical punishment from both guys. Obviously these two guys have faced each other many times. They headlined the International Showdown match, Showdown event in England several years ago. They faced each other. They're the reason why each of them are still in wrestling. Promoters would book each AJ Styles and Daniels, and of course have them going against each other, because promoters know they would have they're both talented and would have a good match. Now, very quickly, Angle versus Bobby Roode. This was again solid technical match you would expect from both guys. Unfortunately, Bobby Roode didn't take the championship. Now, this was said, rumoured on the internet last few days, that Hulk Hogan lobbied, having just re-signed the contract Hogan has, for Angle to take the win. Was a bit two minds about this. It may be a bit too early for Robert Roode to take the world title. There was much of a build-up. They didn't use his history properly, to be honest. Like I said in the preview, they haven't used his history enough to build his character up. They need to split beer money, to be honest, to let Bobby Roode go on his own. James Storm would do fine on his own. Bobby Roode really needs to step out on his own. We could even have them, like I said in the preview, go in the ring, amicably split, like supposedly Westlife has. After 14 years, the biggest pile of rubbish has finally been removed from the world. Westlife have split. But anyway, Bobby Roode really does need a bigger build-up if he's to take the world title. Just hope the whole politics don't hold him back. Deserving world champion, I believe. Champion in the future. Which takes me on to Sting versus Hogan. Now this was more of a street fight. Obviously Hogan, with his many suplex surgeries in the last few months, Sting defeated Hogan in the end when he had the Scorpion Deathlock on him. The referee was Bischoff's son, but had no option but when Hogan was tapping to signify that Hogan had tapped. Immortal then rushed down and bloodied Sting and screamed to Hogan to help him. Hogan did, and they ended up Hogan fought off Immortal. Sting and Hogan ended up punching Bischoff. It was obvious Hogan wanted this to be his moment. There wasn't much from him. There wasn't anything from fortune on that pay-per-view, and Roode not winning a title, I think Hogan did get people not to have this moment overshadowed. Hogan said months ago in an interview he was going to return to red and yellow. I think this is obvious what's going to happen. He said it months ago. I think it was obvious it was going to happen. I think it was obvious Hogan wanted this movement not to be overshadowed by Roode winning the title or anything else. We'll have to watch Impact very quickly. Watch Impact to see whether he comes out in red and black colours. Thanks. This is a very quick review of Bound for Glory.